Hi, I'm Alex Lalong, and this is DCL 1 Video Assessment. Building confidence with e-learning and improving collaboration at Western Heights High School has been a key focus for me for the last year and a half. By increasing confidence in the skills base of our staff, there will be a stronger self-reliance and an encouraged growth mindset that will enable our staff to feel more confident and capable when using e-learning tools. The main area for improvement, obviously, is confidence. By having more confident staff, they will enable a more effective e-learning environment for our students. To enable this, however, we need to be having a more of an organic way of learning, rather than a linear model from previous times, that will create a more effective just-in-time kind of learning. And this kind of PRD and upskilling is what we need to focus on in the future. The hopes and aspirations that I have for our staff at Western Heights is that they will become more stronger and more confident and adaptive to change, so that they're ready to take on any challenge that comes their way. The reason why we need to do this is so that we can continue to inspire our students, because that is our main focus, that we should be the ones that enable our students to feel that they can achieve anything too. So we also need to show that we are risk-taking, that we are trying new things, and more importantly, that we are lifelong learners. The SAMR and TPAC models really help to identify the areas and where you're using e-learning in your classroom. Particularly the TPAC model, pedagogy, technology, and content knowledge, really helps to drive in and hone exactly where you're using it, how you're using it, and why. Diffusion of innovation is a model where the chasm is one of the main focal points. That's because the early and late majority are the main areas that are trying to get over the chasm and try to find a way that they learn how to adopt that new product. And I think that in itself is one of the main struggles that we have as a school, particularly because there are many people in that area and they would love somebody to help them, and that is where we need to be focusing on the PRD, to enable those people to feel like they're confident and able to ask, but also more importantly, so that they can accomplish something new that they haven't tried before. The use of surveys that we have done and the analysis of data has helped to show the areas that we need to focus on for our PLD. The main focus points that we looked at was around connectivity and access to Google Drive and the Google Apps platform. We did see quite a range of different abilities and confidence levels. Some staff didn't feel that they were confident in some areas, but in other areas they were perfectly confident. It was very interesting looking at the main levels of engagement in these kind of answers, and I think that next time I do the surveys, I will be a bit more clear in my questioning to enable a stronger reaction or perspective from the staff members. What was most interesting, however, was that it was very evident that staff knew exactly what they wanted to do. In particular, they could point out the kind of learning they really needed for themselves and for their classroom. So this is why I believe that the workshops that we need to continue doing need to be personalised for those staff members, each and every one. And as part of that, I created a video through video, and it has a small push for the staff, a small challenge, a whittle to take up that adaptive growth, that they need to go and believe in themselves that they can do something too. Through the Western Heights e-learning hub that I created this time last year, they will be able to access their learning anytime, anywhere, ubiquitously. And that's the kind of learning that I hope to create more often in our staff. As a result, I feel like we're slowly leading change. We've been creating YouTube clips when staff need help. We've been uploading new things up to the e-learning hub, and we've also created a collaborative e-learning Google Plus community, which hopefully will be used more and more next year. Along with those are these e-learning workshops that I've planned out. Unfortunately, the year got away with us and we didn't actually complete any of the stuff that I'd actually originally planned. However, there is a definite need for that, as seen in these responses here. Although there were only 8 responses, it is a clear indication that staff are not checking the emails. And I think perhaps that's because the time we sent out the surveys was during report season, one of the most busiest times of the year. And I think timing and communication is critical to enable us and our staff to be the best they can be. Along with those areas, I've been thinking about the strategic plan for the next 6 months, particularly around staff development and student development. 2 of the main areas that I want to focus on for that is the Dream Team and the Digi Angels. I'm hoping there'll be a different name. Somebody else will find it something very much cooler than that. However, the main idea with that is that the staff and students will be working together to enable a more confident and collaborative environment. As a result of that, I'm hoping that with this innovation plan, we'll be able to create a collaborative shared learning space for all staff and students to share their learning and successes, as well as their failures. However, my thinking at the moment is that while I can create Google Sites and different things like that, I'd like it to be more organic. So I'm hoping that come next year, we'll have a skeleton like eLearning Hub that will enable our staff to be uploading their own ideas, own learning, own focuses that they want to be learning more about, so that we can cater to their personal needs more effectively. The eLearning Hub, like I said previously, is a very good skeleton. It is something that we could work on. We could strip it back and change it up to however we'd need to use it. And I think that having something like that as a very simple portal, perhaps, could be a way that we could have staff and student development in the same place. Thinking about NOS's model for managing complex change, I need to continue to remember that I need to have every single piece of the puzzle, otherwise I'll be missing a step to true success. I'm lucky that I have a strong amount of people that are my guiding stars in the light, he matakete, my visionaries, and I have a lot of them. These are just a small amount off the top of my head this morning. And in reality, when I look at them, they're the people that continue to inspire me daily. So I'm very lucky to have those kind of people in my professional learning network. Like I said before, this is just the beginning. We've got so many more things planned, and I'm hoping that throughout next year we'll be becoming a lot more collaborative and a lot more focused on developing a more professional, personalised learning network within our staff so that they share and learn from each other. The next steps that we have at school, that I have in my mind at the moment, would be to create a Google site or an e-learning portal for staff and students to access, perhaps using the e-learning hub that we already have. I'd also like to initiate a new PLD for e-learning to begin in early 2016. Continue learning from Light, Min, Twex, Sinek, and the many other matakete in my kiti ako. I'd like to also continue working with and getting advice from Ngāpu Manawa Iwaru and the Connected Learning Advisory whānau. And more importantly, staying focused on the journey ahead. My personal links and info used, as well as my reference list. Thank you very much. Good night.